We're live.
We're live.
Hey.
Look at
Hey, that was the second time I had crabs.
that.
Oh, shit.
And we are live. Fantastic. That would be the real doctor, Dr. Hayes.
We're up.
I'm the non-doctor.
We're up.
Somehow.
You gotta give me a heads up next time we hop on here, huh?
Yeah, well, that's might be. We're good.
All right.
Might be. All right, here we go. For this second round of the live version of Aches and Gainz, here we are. This is Dr. Hayes, and he's a real doctor, according to the certificate that I saw wrote in crayon. And I am not a doctor, which I don't have to have a certificate for, so we're good. I don't have to fake it.
You still have fake certificates.
Unlike my microphone over here, which refuses to stay up. I need a real doctor for that.
Well, if it lasts longer than 4 hours, then we're all in trouble.
Call a doctor.
We're all in trouble. Yeah.
If it lasts longer than 4 hours, I'm calling everybody. I'm calling everybody. Yeah, so I'm assuming more than a doctor there.
Everybody comes.
Look,
Come look at
it.
Come look at what I've done. Come look at what I've done.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, here we are back. We started this new. I'm not even messing with that anymore. All right, we started this new live format late last year, 2023. Here we are, early 2024, coming back again. I think I can speak for Dr. Hayes here, say that we enjoy doing live format. We have to be a little bit more. I guess on point with the bad words and stuff, but outside of that,
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, well, I don't have a reputation to uphold, fortunately and unfortunately.
Well, apparently, I'm not a real doctor. So
Who was it? Who's that? Your brother who said that? You're not a real doctor?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah.
Oh, stupid family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had your back. I said you were a real doctor.
I appreciate it. Well, I think there were quotation marks. But
No, there was not.
No,
that was
okay.
real.
Gotcha.
I was being absolutely sincere.
Got it. Maybe
And then I was being absolutely sincere when I said I was not
a
real doctor. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Well,
so-
yes. Here we are.
I know it's tough for you to see me being sincere. I get it.
It's a new side of you
I
that
understand.
I'm not used to.
Yeah.
So, I guess we should introduce ourselves
Sure.
since we've been throwing around this terminology. I am Dr. Hayes Estes. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, owner of Premier Physical Therapy here in the Clearwater and Palm Harbor location, and I like to pretend to do CrossFit.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Is that visible? Can you guys see this? See, you will never, ever, ever tear your shin open doing squats.
I mean, well,
if you do something went catastrophically wrong, then at that point,
yeah.
No, but the good doc over here, while he was practicing his non-gains, was jumping today, which was impressive. Listen, I love jumping. As soon as these knees are 100%. In fact, I've already started jumping slightly, to a smaller scale. But Dr. Hayes here was jumping, and go ahead and finish the story here.
I mean, it's not much of a story. It's a classic CrossFit blunder, doing some 30-inch box jumps in the middle of a WOD. It took a little bit of a slip, and there's concrete because I'm not going to jump on a 30-inch little piece of wood or a foam box because I'd rather destroy my shin than break my neck.
We had this conversation earlier.
Yeah. So
and
I did in fact destroy my shin. So it was a nice, pretty deep little cut. I thought I had it cleaned up. And then I was working with patients earlier and felt a warm trickle down my leg. And this time it was not urine. And here we are.
He has a diaper on today. So.
Yeah. That's the reason I'm wearing pants. Last time I had a problem showing my underwear. So, Anyway.
Well, I'm not going to show my scars, but I've had many of the same thing, just to say that. That's why I switched over to the soft box. But hey, some of us get smarter when we get older. Some of us don't. I mean, I'm not saying.
Well, I am 6 days younger than you, so
you got some time to grow.
And you can tell.
Yeah, there's a big difference there. Yeah. I'm not even gonna make a hair joke. I was about to make a hair joke, and I stopped myself. Maturation.
Look, are we
leave
going
my hair alone? You don't want to go there.
We're not going to talk.
I'm not going there. That's why I left the hair alone, because I don't want any reciprocation.
All right, that's good.
Anyway,
Right. So yeah, I mean that's my training story for the week.
Yeah.
So trying to not feel 41 years old. So it's I mean I want to feel athletic. Want to feel athletic, and it was a little bit of a psychological thing. It's been a minute since I've done box jumps at that high of box, but I did it. I did it well, other than the one. I finished the workout. Didn't get time capped. RX'd it, if you will. Well, here we go.
If you got Google this stuff for you people that actually have muscles, the RX, WOD, that kind of stuff, it's out there.
Okay, we need Jamie, could you at the bottom, can you put graphics with the definition? Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Could you bring up the version of I'm trying to do my best Joe Rogan? It's horrible.
Yeah.
Frank Caliendo does a really good Joe Rogan if you want to look at his stuff.
Frank Caliendo does
really good everything,
well,
right?
Yeah.
But Joe Rogan is really good.
Yeah.
So what's funny is I purposely didn't talk to Dr. Hayes today about what I wanted to talk about. And as he walks in and shows me his wound over here and talking about trying to stay mobile as he enters into his 40s, it actually goes along with what I wanted to talk about today. And we're talking about the pop culture thing, because I always like to talk about some pop culture stuff in this. One of the better football centers in the history of the National League, not the best, but the better, Jason Kelce. He's the older brother of Taylor Swift's boyfriend, for you people who don't understand.
That's what I know him as.
Yeah. The Swifties' older brother, the one who's actually like a real man and stuff. But he has chosen to retire from the National Football League.
Is that true?
That is true. That's true. After 13 years of playing one of the more difficult positions in football, not only do you have to block a 350-pound man like Vita Vea coming in, you have to, strategically exchange a football within a timely manner, perfect every time. So, are you Googling to see if it's true?
Yeah, because
It's true,
I do subscribe to New Heights podcast. Shout out. I think they need a couple
Trav.
I think what up, Killer Trav? But I was under the impression, per the latest episode that came out the other day, that he made a comment.
Yeah.
And then on his podcast, he said that he's going to think about it.
But every NFL team has released a statement saying good luck in retirement to one of the better ones. So, and if he does a retirement, they retire, these NFL teams have to take back all this kind of stuff. But let's just go with the assumption that he has chosen to. By the way, if you watch the Kelce documentary, he was contemplating retiring last season, decided to come back one more time. So it makes sense at this point. He would talk about how much he hurt all the time.
Right. So I just for clarification, because I know we're going to have of our 49 subscribers, we're going to have someone who's going to fact check it.
Actually,
Philadelphia Eagles star center Jason Kelce said he'll make an official announcement about the status of his NFL career in the future. In the year 2000. Yeah. So
we got that right away.
He said, I'm not trying to be dramatic and draw this thing out, blah, blah, blah. But point being, so there's a high probability to retire. So let's go. So
I think he's 36.
I'm not trying to harsh your mellow. But what was the point of?
So the aging athlete, whether professional or amateur, doing everything from CrossFit all the way up to millions of dollar paychecks, at what point do you say, all right, I've reached the pinnacle of where I can physically perform at a high level, and you don't maybe you don't do retire from football like Jason Kelce, but you say, all right, I'm no longer able to do what I want to do here. I'm going to adjust and stay relevant, but not at this point. And this is more of a psychological thing when it comes to people who have been at a pinnacle or close to a pinnacle of whatever they feel. It doesn't have to be professional sports. It can be somewhere where you were really good at something that didn't matter to anybody else, but mattered to you.
Yeah.
And now it required a level of physicality that Father Time has started to take away. No matter how well you try to prevent it, there's always, Father Time's undefeated. He's going to take away. Some of the strongest, most athletic people turn into older, less athletic people. Is what happens. So I'm not sitting here, breaking news. Like this isn't going to be all over Twitter. But when do you make that decision and not push too far and end up regretting not making the decision? And I think in Jason's mind here, based off that, watching that documentary, and it was very good to see inside of his world. He would say during the off season, he would come off of NSAIDs and be in massive amount of pain, trying to reset his body so that he wasn't, making sure they still work during the season.
Mhm.
And I'm sure he takes other things that are a little less friendly on the body, to keep pain relief. So he's looking at this relatively young. 36 is not old, but in NFL years and offensive lineman years,
Yeah, compared to normal years.
yeah. So
Yes.
on offensive lineman years, he's in his 60s probably body wise.
Yeah.
So you can appreciate somebody going, you know what, I've reached the pinnacle. I don't want to flame out and be known as somebody who held on too long, and also I don't want to regret the rest of my life saying I should have hung it up 2 years earlier. And now my knee is shot. Now my head, I have concussions and those stuff. So
Yeah.
as a doctor here who deals with people facing this on a regular basis, what is your opinion on what's going on right now with Jason Kelsey and the same thing with Tom Brady was going through and other people that have gone through this?
Well, I think there was an eggplant shortage. That's why Tom Brady retired. But
I knew bringing that up. Yeah.
So he wasn't getting as many subscribers to the TB12 workout program because people were already pliable enough. Sorry, all right, I'll stop.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm just glaring. All right, you're ruining this for the 3 people watching. Ruining it.
Yeah, go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Two questions that I would have someone ask themselves. One, how much do you like losing? Right. So meaning, if we're talking about someone who's being competitive, do you and you start to slow down and you're not performing to the level that you were before, and do you like to get into competition and just lose and get your butt handed to you? And so if you are not comfortable with that and it keeps happening over and over again despite your best efforts, I would say that it's maybe not time to retire, but since I work a lot with CrossFitters, powerlifters, there's a reason that especially in CrossFit, the masters level starts at 35.
Correct.
So everyone's otherwise at 35 year olds walking around perfectly healthy, the envy of me and probably you. But yeah, go back in time almost 7 years. So yeah, I felt a lot better, but I mean, not that I feel bad, but there's that, right? That master's level of CrossFit is at 35, and then after that they have 5-year increments of divisions. So that I would ask yourself that question right there. When it comes to competition, that's more of a psychological question. Obviously, I don't necessarily have that type of conversation. I mean, sometimes I do.
Not just like the regular patient, but someone comes in here coming back from a major injury at a later time in there, and they have to ask themselves, what's the future?
Right. And so you do have to be realistic. I would, we're taking a little bit of a different turn there because somebody's coming back from an injury or surgery. I'm going to do everything I can to at least give them the chance, the ability to try one more time, right? And then at least give them some more data to make that decision. But when it comes to things like pain, it's kind of the same question, or very similar question. How much do you like pain? Not to say that you're guaranteed to be in pain. If you were to try to, perform Olympic lifts in full range of motion as a 15 or 6-year-old, I guess you're not going to guarantee to get hurt or have pain. It's the mobility requirements and the strength requirements and the speed with which you have to perform these movements is very demanding.
But add in the injury, which will leave lasting effects in the joint.
Right.
Or whatever.
So or if you compete, whether that's actually doing CrossFit or fitness competitions, or whether that's just in your home gym, in like your local gym,
you versus you kind of stuff.
You versus you, and you continue to get hurt. is how's your quality of life when you do that? So those are the two things that I would, in some way, probably ask. Definitely about pain, or at least I would encourage someone who came to see me to think about that. Do you like losing? Do you like pain? So, and if the answer is yes and yes, sure, go ahead.
And if you got a masochistic mindset, then yeah, you're going to keep going. And unfortunately, I've met a few people that are great people that have that mindset that their quality of life suffers. You brought up that term, quality of life, is something that I never thought about in my 20s and even in my early 30s.
Yeah.
I was so focused on goal, task oriented.
Yeah.
This is, there's nothing getting in your way. And now I look back and I'm like, man, some of the things that I did affected my quality of life now for sure. But what I can do here is I can't adjust the past. I can adjust here on out. So the things that I do now are with my mind of quality of life in the future. Quality of life now.
Yeah.
Quality of life in the future for sure. Because I don't want to do any more detriment to what's already been done. And then have it so to the point where I can't sleep at night, or I can't sleep during the night, or I have to have special equipment in order to, just to be not in pain.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of a thing that I think you have to have.
Hyperbaric chambers are pretty expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I'm claustrophobic, so I ain't sleeping in that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's something that as a professional we have to talk with and make sure it's forefront.
Yeah.
Make sure that when people who are talking about going for different jobs, you tell them money is not the ultimate thing. You got to think about every other aspect of it. Well, the same thing here. When you're going to competition is not the ultimate thing. Sometimes it has to think about family life, quality of life. What's your post competition life going to be like?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be completely just debilitated? And what you're going to have there is you're going to bring up regret, resentment, all those other things towards the thing that you used to enjoy.
Yeah.
So
to be clear, neither of us are saying to stop competing or to stop being physically active.
Correct.
We're saying that you might
at a level.
Right. Maybe you got to be honest with yourself, and maybe you shouldn't be RXing every single workout, or maybe you should scale it, or maybe you shouldn't even at the age of 45 be competing with the 25-year-olds.
Right.
So
being honest with yourself and not setting yourself up for failure and issues down the road. Do you think Jason Kelsey is going to stop training? No, that guy's a beast.
Yeah.
He's going to maintain good physical shape. He probably will lose a little bit of weight, be in better shape because he doesn't have to be 300 pounds to stop a Vita Vea coming through the hole.
Right.
And now he's going to be better off. But he's not going to stop. But what he is going to say, am I able and willing to do the things it takes to compete at that highest level? Yeah. And unfortunately, he has a reputation now as one of the best to ever do it in his position. If he stays on for 3 more years, and the last 3 years you see the numbers thrown out, that'll affect his legacy, how he feels about himself, how people feel about him.
Yeah.
So there is the idea of the going out on top kind of deal. Even though he didn't win a Super Bowl, but he's still regarded as one of the best. I'm talking about this year.
Oh yeah,
he won one, but I'm talking about this year. He didn't go out on top. He didn't Peyton Manning, where he's like, all right, I won it all. I'm not doing it.
Well, Von Miller won that one for him. But okay.
Correct, and John Elway, same thing. All right, I won when I'm done. I won when I'm done. But he is going out, if he does decide to, as still one of the sportscasters said it. If Jason Kelsey decides to stop playing, it's because he decides to, not because he can't.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very big thing to mention there, because it's not that he can't do it. It's just, am I willing to put myself through this? And if I had not watched that documentary on him, you may not know as much behind the scenes of how much it affects him and his family. And, he's got kids that he's having trouble getting up off the floor with, Yeah. Now he's thinking, man, grandkids, am I going to be able to get down on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
This kind of stuff. So I think it's a great thing. And then for people who are watching out there, we've both been in situations where we had to realize that, it may not be what it used to be. It still can be something big. But as far as...
I ain't as good as I once was.
Oh, boy. No Toby Keith here.
Isn't
there like a sign on the door that says no Toby Keith?
But that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying, and to my point, I continue to compete. Continue to push yourself, pick and choose your spots.
Yep.
Right. So, it's like you think you continue to go with using the athlete analogy. You have these people like I don't know, like Manu Ginobili was one of my favorite examples. When he first came into the league, he could do everything. He was all over the place. He was flying over the court, making steals, making blocks, driving to the lane, not really care for his body. As he got older and he had spent several years in the league, he would still do that every once in a while, but it wasn't something that was happening throughout the entirety of the game. It was okay. I'm going to kind of like have some active rest here, still playing, still
turn it on when you need to,
turn it on when you need to, type of thing, right? So, and so that's kind of the thing. That's the point I'm trying to make is that it's more of a shift. It's not stop. It's more of a shift. So meaning like, all right, you were here. You're still kind of in the same. You're still going in the same direction. But maybe you're getting out of the passing lane and you're in the cruising lane.
So managing expectations, maybe a little bit.
Managing expectations.
Not setting yourself up for emotional and physical failure.
Right. Yeah.
And then here's what happens though, and this is I see it, you see it. When you don't do that, you end up in your place.
Yeah.
And as much as you love, to keep your doors open, and you got kids that are hungry just like mine.
I don't want to deal with like a fractured shell of human.
Right. So when you walk in someone who's defeated, that's not a good patient to begin with, because they had this expectation of this, and life came and just kicked them square in the mommy and daddy.
That's a person who couldn't answer the question themselves and had the question answered for them.
And there was my point I was going to. Thanks for taking that. Now the answer will be given to you, whether you want it or not. Whether it's on your terms or on external circumstances.
You go find out.
Yes. So, and this is where I was at there with this. I love working. I have this newfound love for working with geriatric and elderly patients, clients. And it really comes down, they almost have the same motivation as high school and college athletes. And people look at me like, reading, like, let's think about it. Well, the most motivated person in this world is someone with something to lose. Mm-hmm. Most motivated. All right. The most. So an athlete has their future to lose, a scholarship, the ability to play the game, maybe a contract that will be life-changing for their family and generations. Yeah. An elderly person has their quality of life to lose. Yep. And there's the data shows that once you start losing that at a certain age, it doesn't come back. Once you allow it to get to a certain part, it's tough to come back. I'm not saying it doesn't, it's tough to. So when people who are in an understanding that says, I'm in the twilight of my life, I maybe have less than 20 years left, I don't want to spend it just sitting there looking around at people doing other things. Yeah. So that's my favorite thing right now is working. I have several clients right now that are in their 60s and 70s that are the most motivated, and it just, what can I say? The most, they're sponges. They're like, I want to learn, I want to learn, I want to learn, I want to learn, I want to learn. And I love it. So that's my two things right now. And most of these people have had that question answered for them. So, I've had the question answered for me, with my stuff, I was forced to stop competing at a high level, not because I wanted to, but because my body said, all right, because of what you did and because of what you didn't do, you are now no longer allowed to do this at a level. Yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of the point of here. And I think given your specific style of physical therapy that you do, it's not the chain stuff. It's not to put them through this kind of stuff. You're dealing with people who have a desire to get back to a certain aspect, return to play, return to quality of life, this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think the psychological part of this is just as important as the physical part. And what it'll do is the managing expectations will keep them from being injured. You can fight back and say, no, screw you, body. I'm gonna, and your body will just break, or you can understand where to go. And I'm gonna reiterate this: I'm in no way, shape saying do not do things. Yeah. That's the worst thing. Movement is the key. We talk about this all day. Outside of acute injuries within a short phase, everything should be based around movement. Whether it's walking, whether it's climbing stairs, weightlifting, any type of stuff like that. But just understand that, you may not be the exact person you were. And a lot of athletes just have a hard time understanding this. In fact, I know there's an entire realm of psychology that deals with retiring athletes that understand, what do I do now? I've been this premier player of whatever sport I am. Now I'm former player. What do? Go into broadcasting and make $100 million?
I don't know that
I don't know who that is.
I don't know that many of those jobs either. So it's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So
I love the topic. I think it's something that needs to be talked about more. And I love that someone like Jason Kelsey decides, you know what? I'm doing this on my terms. I'm not waiting until an injury puts me on the shelf.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
He's going to go. He's going to spend time with his beautiful wife, his family. He's made $80 million on football alone. Never mind the Campbell's ads and the Tide Pods and all this kind of stuff. He's not going to have a bad life.
It was chunky soup.
It is Campbell's chunky soup.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Come on, brother.
I'm sorry.
Don't talk to me about food, bro. Look at this.
It's been a minute since then.
And then, of course, I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you, but New Heights podcast will be picked up and he'll be making some money off that, especially after Travis decides to hang it up and they can actually spend more time on it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. Those guys are hilarious together.
I do enjoy it very much.
They're fun. They're fun to watch. And that's what makes we try to model our stuff off of what we like about podcasts. Is like you want to offer some value, but you also want to make it fun and entertaining.
We're also happy to be sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, I just don't want that sick Buffalo.
Let's go, sports bar.
That's so creepy. That's worse than Danny DeVito with the Jersey Mike stuff. I'm ruining sponsors as we go. What else can I just push off the table? And my next question, would that make me Jason and you Travis?
I am the more handsome one, so
I am the. Yeah, I got nothing to learn. I got nothing.
I'm just gonna let you go.
I like his beard. He's got a cool beard. Anyway, I think that was. If you guys have any comments, concerns, questions about this kind of stuff, we'd be happy to answer.
No concerns. Just
I'll handle the concerns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah. And we're
welcome
to talk about this kind of stuff, and every once in a while, let Hayes talk a little bit more every now and then because he does have some intelligent things to say every other Thursday.
But all the blood has left my head.
Just rest in the area.
So I'm about to pass out right now. So we want to wrap this
prime
up.
Dr. Hayes right now.
Yeah.
This is right before it goes real bad.
Yeah, I haven't even had a protein shake.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You haven't been been hydrating during these things recently.
I know. So
that's why I'm having to pick up the slack. I'm just naturally like this.
All right. Yeah. Well, we are looking again for any topics that you want to hear us talk about. We are relative experts in the fields of pain rehabilitation, weightlifting, fitness, programming, hair. So just fire away, comment wherever. Share this if you are someone who is struggling with the decision to make in terms of is it time for me to kind of hang it up? Maybe this podcast will give you some idea or some sort of guidance. If you have a friend who's also kind of going through that, I encourage you to do that. But at the end of the day, we if you want to be competitive, that's what we do. So I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I work. My niche is going to be CrossFitters, powerlifters, people who want to compete, want to stay active, especially with barbell movements. And that's what this guy does. He works on the performance aspects of it. So, we like to consider ourselves actual experts in these fields. And so fire away. Let us know how we can help you. And we're here in the Clearwater area. So again, Premier Physical Therapy is my business. Strength and Performance Institute. This is our lovely home where we're shooting our podcast. And that's about all I got.
I got a shout out. I just worked with Largo High School right here in Pinellas County. Their softball team. Worked with them from September until yesterday, doing off-season strength and performance training, sport-specific styles. So we're doing rotational sport athlete training, and these girls. I'm going to post up and I'll put up the numbers that I have there. We did a entrance testing and an exit testing of 4 events: push-ups, dynamic ball throw, broad jump, and 60-foot sprints. the amount of improvement these girls had, these are 13, 14, 15-year-old girls, insane. Just the work ethic they put in. So proud of them. Looking forward to having them back next year. I'm looking forward to spreading this style of training to other schools in the area for athletes that are looking to utilize their off season and not just sit on the couch, but actually get better with the tangibles that will lead to being better with the intangibles on the field or on the court. So big shout out to those girls, man. Loved working with them, and looking forward to doing more of that.
Man, nice. Yeah, no, that's it's a great population to work with. So yeah, start laying the foundation young.
Yeah, it was really fun. So I just love working with them, and I've worked with high school athletes for many years now, but getting a group together like that and watching the camaraderie, the confidence grow. And I'll use one more point. We had a girl here that walked in, and her ability to jump was very bad, and it wasn't because so much physical, just the confidence. She was not confident. So we went from her being able to jump onto like a 4 to 5 inch step to a 20-inch box multiple times within that time span. Did she get stronger and faster? Yes, a little bit, but her confidence is what brought her to that. Mm-hmm. And the ability, and I know that confidence will transcend to the field, to her studies, to her social life, that kind of stuff. It's building up. So it was really great. And I'll stop talking because I can do it a whole half hour. So, anyway,
maybe we'll save it for another one. Yeah,
So,
maybe we'll save that for a future episode talking about weightlifting when it comes to adolescents, teenagers. Is it good? Is it bad? I think you probably already know the answer.
Spoiler alert. It's good.
The evidence says.
The evidence.
All right. Well, on that note, we're gonna wrap this thing up.
Yep.
Man, we didn't even talk about Ozempic today.
Is that what you wanted to talk about?
Next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about Ozempic. I'm gonna do that.
How do we end this thing?
I don't think we have any way. We're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get up, go turn it off, and try not to look awkward while I'm doing it. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's the beauty of getting up out of a low chair with double knee replacement within 6 months. No judgy.
Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe.